Welcome.
Peace.
Here we go.
Yes.
All right. Natalie, welcome. All right. I am just buried in a flow that I thought was going to work, but it's not working. It was working before winter, and now it's not, is what I'm thinking. Because I could have sworn it was working, and now all of a sudden it's not. So I'm figuring out some things. Really, my bottom line is I had a hack for lookups,
Oh, nice.
Is it a
which is,
before save flow by chance?
oh no, it is a field service mobile flow.
Oh, okay. All right. Continue.
Yes. And
Okay.
yeah, a hack was create a record action, action, and just put that on your flow. And it just acts like a screen. And when you go into the flow and you enter that action, when you complete the action, it saves the record. Like you don't have to do an assignment. You don't have to do an update element. It actually does what
You're saying the action. It's okay. I'm sort of used to this. Like I used to throw them into like I don't know, a process builder maybe, but so the action has the lookup as one of the fields on its layout because it's there, it shows up and it does what lookups do and it works.
Yeah.
But, and it did before winter, but now it's sad clown.
I know. So I'm just trying a few things to see what the heck happened. And of course, I have a presentation at 4:00. Oh no. I know. I'm going to have to tell them. We're going to have to test everything except for the asset lookups. So
you don't want to crack the lid off of it here?
I don't know yet. I'm scared. I kind of want to stick to the agenda because I have another thing that I have to do. So I might be able to weasel my way out of it. So we'll see. Hey, Ben. Hey, Melissa. Welcome.
How we doing?
Okay, so we all got the email saying that the unsupported devices, not devices, operating systems for Android and iOS have been released with Salesforce. So the last time I encountered this with a customer, and usually, I don't know, maybe it's hit and miss. If you got an MDM, like what do you call it?
Mobile device management.
Mobile device management. If you have mobile device management, the company controls what version of the iOS app or the Android app and what version of the field service mobile app you have. So people don't update their apps on their own for company issued phones that are governed by MDM because IT does it for you. They do the refresh. So I encountered a customer who refused to update the app with every release. They only updated the app once a year. They had a contract with I don't know with who, and it meant that they can't do any technical changes to their apps outside of the 1 year period. So as a result, they don't get the winter, spring, whatever, summer release on their mobile apps. They only get the one. So of course, what happens? You experience bugs, you miss out on patches, and then all of a sudden they encountered this. So they're trying to do their upgrade. They can't do an upgrade direct from from 3 releases ago to the next release. They have to do like one at a time something. And then they realize they don't have enough operating space on their devices because their devices are so old. They only had like 2 megabytes of memory or something like that, or 2 gigs of memory, whatever that the metric was. And they couldn't upgrade the app. So they had to reissue all new devices, provision all new devices, which went through a whole procurement process. Meanwhile, the bug that they were experiencing basically froze all their apps. So they had nothing. And it was probably 8 months. They couldn't use the mobile app for 8 months. And they had to go back to paper. Yeah.
Crazy.
I know.
I know businesses like to save money by not, renewing devices every year or every couple of years, but you get longer than a couple of years for things like this. So
Right. But I mean, a 2 gig size phone, like I don't know what my phone is now, but my kid's is like a terabyte. He's got like so much data on there. But I guess there's like the 2, right? There's the memory and then the storage, whatever it is. Like
yeah,
they weren't able to update it. So it is a shame that they have that policy in place where they can only update once a year. But this is the voice of reason that says do your upgrades on a regular basis and update your operating system on a regular basis. That way you can see if you can get ahead of these deprecated announcements. Because like I don't know what version it was that it said, but that's like a long time ago.
The
Like-
iOS that it was saying.
Yeah, Android 12 and iOS.
it's 17.
17, it says.
Will no longer be supported. iOS 17.
Don't look to see what I'm on.
Yeah, like that seems like new.
iOS version 18.6.2.
Oh my God, what am I? About 18.6.2. So 17 feels really
close.
new.
That's
Yeah.
quite close.
So it's possible that if they are iOS 17 deprecating it,
26.
you're on what?
I'm on version 26.
For Android.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Apple. My bad. I haven't even
Apple.
looked at my Android. I'm going to have to
Yeah.
do that now.
Well, what do you mean by 26 though?
There was someone said to me the other day about updating to 26. Is that on a Mac?
6.26.
iOS 26.0.1 on the iPhone.
Yeah, they have started catching up their iOS versions to the year. I think that's brand new this year. So I think
Oh,
it might have gone from 18
Yeah.
to 26.
got it. That would be
That's-
friendly. I like that. So 17.
Is probably just
A few back. That makes me feel
Yeah,
better,
within-
Bruce, because I was razzed hard about that. I was around 18
no
for a while.
No, yeah, I
But
think
they're
you're
still,
good,
but
man.
Apple's still supporting it. Although it's not really supporting it. They just keep,
Well-
they just have documentation on it.
Yeah. Again, I think this is saying we, for field service mobile, we want to make use of things that are new and cool, and we want to stop being backwards compatible to things that are old and lame.
Yeah.
So 17 and lower, lame.
Right. Or like, yeah, exactly. It's lame, or there's some sort of security that they
True.
can't keep up with too. It's just Android. Let's look at Android 12. Like, where are we now? Like Android 12 feels,
Oh, boy.
the first beta of it was 2021. Like Android 12. But in spring 26, that's February-ish. Yeah, that's reasonable. And then in summer, June-ish, Android 12. So this is some pretty good heads up on what's being deprecated. So I guess, yeah, go ahead.
Well, if you act on it now, or if you don't have
Well, this is
older
what I'm
stuff that's
saying.
sitting there dormant.
Yeah, right. So you've got plenty of runway to do that analysis and check to see what version every device is on and how much memory they've got left and if they can support the latest version of the operating system, because we know that those operating systems are a beast and can take up a lot of space on your device. Okay, so yeah, that was a good thing. Dreamforce, just quick recap, some really cool things related to, what's coming. So Salesforce did a really great job of seeing and communicating what's happening at the edge, right? So what's around corners, what direction should everybody be going? Because we're all trailblazers who watched True to the Core and got their annual dose of blue Kool-Aid. Anybody watch True to the Core? Highly recommend if you want to know where they're going. I don't know if it's a replay, but yeah, like someone went up and said, where's the trust? Where's the support? There's a lot of stuff that you're showcasing for Agentforce, but yet nothing to support us on the product as it stands right now. So it seems like the core is getting abandoned as you focus on these new shiny things and all of the, like, we're here with this infrastructure that you've given us, and it's in some cases like we're struggling. So where is the love? Is one. And then the guy, I don't know who he is. He's a boomerang. He came back. He was an engineer, and anyways, he's now back. And I don't know if he's the CTO or what. I didn't catch it before I walked in the room, but he basically said, we are trailblazers, and it is our responsibility as a company to be forward looking and to show you the direction of where we believe this company and this product should go. And he basically said, this is what it feels like. It's like the guy was bashing Salesforce vibes, saying that it wasn't working. Like the thing is a week old, for crying out loud. Like, come on. It was like it lost context and it wasn't doing anything, and it sort of like tripped on itself and it couldn't like do the code, whatever it was. And it's like, it's a week old, dude. Like Salesforce release products early so that it can get feedback to see what's working, what's not working, and is it even in the right direction. So yeah, like anyway, so the CTO basically told him to take off his Trailblazer hoodie because he's not a Trailblazer. So if he can't deal with the bumps and bruises, then just wait until it's basically
Been blazed.
wait until you don't have to join us for the new stuff. Like if you want to try something brand new, expect to get bumps and bruises along the way. They call it bleeding edge for a reason. So it was kind of like a ooh moment where it's like you really are questioning your decisions in your life and your career. Like yes, it's hard, yes it's painful, and yes it's annoying, but we're at the forefront of technology. He basically said we've been here before with the whole emergence of cloud computing, so either you're going to get on board or you're not. So you choose, but this is what disruption looks like.
So I've had to play with not with the Salesforce side, but with the Slack side of vibe coding. That's awesome. Like, that's definitely next level. So I think if that's the way they're heading, they're on the right page. And if we're just at the beginning of that journey, like, I just think that it's racing so fast, and what you can now do is unbelievable. So it's pretty clever.
Yep. So this is what it means to be a trailblazer. Aren't we so lucky? Aren't we?
So the patches are for the bumps, bruises, and tears.
That's correct. Exactly. I've got my well-architected sticker, and then I've got like a girl gang patch. So ready to
back together.
patch up my exactly. Guess this is what it takes. And yes, it's hard. So today, in the spirit of core, I was like, yes, it's nice to explore some new things, but I'm being asked to implement preventative maintenance. And I got a post in the Trailblazer community from someone on your side of the world, Scott, who was dealing with preventative maintenance, and they are using a parent work order structure. And every time a service appointment is created, they want to add a parent to like the parent work order. They want to add that to the lookup. And I thought, well, why aren't you just doing that in a before save flow for all of your service appointments? Because she said that there's a button that they use to add the parent. So either they're early in their automation phase and they're doing the crawling part, and they want to just like control when they want to add the parent. But I didn't get a response to say, why is she using that? But for preventative maintenance, they just turned it on. And she said, I'd really love it to populate automatically for preventative maintenance service appointments. And I thought, okay, well, that should be pretty easy because there are helper fields that I think are on the work order object or the service appointment object. I think it's the work order. And you can just like get all the service appointments that are created and check to see if the parent work, if the work order, we'll just say the work order has those preventative maintenance fields in, then go populate that service appointment with the parent work order.
Pretty much
So-
what we're doing. So
You're doing that too? Perfect. So you're using a before save flow.
we're not having any issues. Yeah, we have a little bit of Apex. There's a couple of little but only for performance, because we're only updating the work orders. We're not updating the service appointments.
I see.
So we've
Mhm.
decided that for our dispatchers, if they just live in work orders and keep work orders up to date, we'll look after the service appointments for them.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just saves one layer. So
Yeah.
might be confusing to some other people when they think, but our dispatchers are just using one flow, updates the whole, and we look after, in the background, we look after everything that happens with service appointments. And then we manipulated all the Gantt charts. So when you open up an appointment, a service appointment, you end up looking at a work order. So
Love that.
yeah, so we did all of that sort of stuff, and so it just makes it much simpler because then it's just a layer that we've eliminated for them. They don't really see it. It just happens in the background. And so we sort of treat service appointments just as the Gantt view.
And
then everything else revolves around the work order.
that's really good.
Yeah, so it's just cleaner from our perspective. And then we have parent and child work orders, which is like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where the parent is the body of work and the children are both. So one child work order is two things. It's the piece of equipment that they'll be using, which is its own service resource, and the employee, which is the other service resource. So rather than them trying to keep the employee and the piece of equipment in sync, the working that worked for them. So that way those two service appointments live in sync. We had a look at other methods of doing it, and it's just overly complicated when you can just control it from the work order.
Yeah. So one work order for each resource type, did I hear you say?
So one work order for us, it's a crane company. So one work order for the 100-ton crane that you ordered.
Okay.
So underneath that, as the service appointments, it'll book out the service resource being the crane.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the service resource being the operator of the crane. So it looks after that as a package under that one work order. So if you order,
Oh, I see. I see.
on your
Yeah. Yeah.
body of work, you ordered like a 100-ton crane and a 230-ton crane, you might have two child work orders being those two assets, because we look at it asset based.
So one work order per asset that you're bringing to the site.
Yeah,
Perfect.
basically.
Yeah.
We call that like, that's basically our invoice. If you can imagine that the parent work order is the invoice and the assets underneath are your invoice line items.
Yeah.
Almost. A little bit more complicated than that, but you can imagine that's how they think of the world in dispatch. So if we can try and mirror that it sort of flows really well.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
another company that was like that too. Bruce and Natalie and I were working on that one. Same kind of concept. It's a project would be the body of work. But for us, I think, I think a work order for us represented a period of time or like a phase of the project. How did we
Yeah,
model
that's
that
right.
one?
So that's us as well. Like that,
Mm.
that one work order is just that piece in the larger project being the group work order. So, and so we just broke it down to two record types, basically a group work order record type, and then a service record type being like a work plan or, so getting my objects mixed up, but basically
Yeah, I know what you're
we call it our service class which is basically the item being invoiced. So like 100-ton crane. So yeah. Sorry, it sounds confusing, but I guess
No,
everyone's
that
trying
sounds
to
right. Natalie, do
describe
you want to
their-
share what we did with
Sure.
the work order and the child work order and what it represented?
Sorry.
The way that we,
Natalie.
what I recall us structuring everything, the work order, the parent work order represented the opportunity or the order in essence, well, the opportunity. And then the child work orders, each one would correspond to an order record. The order lines became the work order lines. So an opportunity could have multiple orders. For instance, if it was a subscription to something, then you would have an order for every month, for example. And then that order would become the work order, the child to the parent, and everything would roll up subsequently. And you could see instant alignment between orders, work orders, and costing, etc.
That's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that project, notably, Leanne, we used your MR tool. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that like a work order was each day the person was going to be there? Or am I
Not
being
work
crazy?
order, service
We
appointment.
get an essay for each day they're going to be
Yeah.
there. Yep. And we didn't do as neat, I think, a marriage of the scheduled equipment as you did, or did we now? Do we have any SRs that were equipment?
Yeah,
Yes,
they were
Okay.
assets.
Yeah. Scheduled hard stuff. That's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
they were actual users.
And like as part of that too, what was cool about what we designed there was as part of that MR tool, we were able to just show me only the equipment. I only want to schedule equipment, or only show me the humans. I only want to schedule the technicians. So it was an interesting way of adding people or assets to that work order.
Right.
Or creating a
And-
service appointment to that work order.
And then this sort of cute dovetail off of that. Whenever equipment finished a job, we sent it back for quote unquote a day at the spa.
That's right.
With getting an
Just-
inspection and sort of refitting afterwards, we would automatically schedule whenever this is done. It's going to its Home Depot and it gets, all the love and care from the local crew.
Well,
Yeah,
but
like
I think the
some maintenance
technicians
and
then also demanded that same treatment as well.
Day at the,
unfortunately.
yep, day
And
at the
there's- I think
spa.
there's like a Mani-Pedi order that needs to be placed.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
And
That
you gotta-
sounds like my Dreamforce experience. All right. So let's do a quick review of preventative maintenance. I have, good question. John, how does the PM architecture match how ServiceMax does it? I don't know. Maybe we'll go into it, and then if you know it, can you tell me? Let's do a quick compare.
I only remember that it does and that their Asset 360 did that before Salesforce did it, but I don't really remember how. I was hoping you would. If there was somebody from Bolt here, they would know because they invented ServiceMax before they became Bolt, but I think they're allowed.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So I am just going to create a Lightning app that shows us all the objects that are related to the preventative maintenance capability or feature set. So this is kind of my way of understanding what are all of the objects that are required in order to set up this product. So I'm going to just get the accounts, the assets. I'm going to get the maintenance plan. maintenance work rules. We also have maintenance assets are child objects, so they won't have their own tab. We'll talk about service contracts. It's not exciting or fun or any of those things, but what am I missing? Work orders, obviously. We need service appointments. Oh, hello. I need the
Are the selection
dispatcher console.
rules or criteria going to show up in here?
That's work plan selection rules.
Okay.
I did maintenance work rules.
Okay.
I don't know if we need field service settings. I'm just going to throw it on here because who knows? Ooh, there is a starter kit thing that we should take a look at. Okay, so I'm going to do a plug for Field Service Go. Please remember that this exists. And in the new agentic world of Salesforce and Agentforce, setup is going to change completely. So whenever you want to enable a feature, like look at all of these features, the initial setup is now automated, which is pretty darn cool. It will recognize what licenses you have in your org, and you literally just press get started, or you press go, and the whole darn thing goes for you. Like, it gets all configured for you. So if you go into my clouds, this is where we'll go into the field service stuff. But if you've got all these other clouds, you can see what they're set up. They're set up by, like, the product management team's point of view of how you should set up that cloud. At least it's guided and is created through their lens. So totally worth trying. We played a lot with this. Like, I've shown this a few times, right? But look at now what the individual features can be. So if you want to set up timesheets, now press the button. If you want to set up more scheduling, well, some of them I'll go into some of them, but a lot of these, you don't have to do a lot. You just have to press a button and it creates the permission sets for you. It creates the page layouts for you. It creates the profiles and assigns it to your user. So definitely take a look at this. If you wanted to set up document builder, right? Like, this is how you set up document builder now. Data capture, it'll create, okay, so safe harbor coming soon to a theater to you kind of thing. A template is going to be created for you. So definitely start taking a look at these things. We have a customer who is going to, like, they're new with field service. So we've asked them to try this implementation style approach out. And we got to get their feedback because we need customers to try it out so that this actually works really well for everybody. Okay, soapbox moment over. There's nothing here for preventative maintenance. Okay, so just double check that there is one or isn't one. Okay, so there isn't one. So we gotta go. Here's the data model thinking. Bruce, we are, oh yeah. Some of these ancillary ones like location and associated location, it doesn't really do anything for us except just say, you might have this, but this is not really maintenance. Go ahead.
So maybe it's in filling in the gaps, right? Like, when you throw the switch and say create work orders from maintenance plan, you have some level of finesse with it to say make one service appointment for make one work order for line item, or make Wally's for each asset, or whatever it is. But the data that's carried onto those work orders doesn't necessarily tell the whole story of what is needed to get there in the first place. So you may have to patch up with before save or other automation to get your street, city, state, whatever, from where. Are they on each asset, or are they on asset dot location dot visitor address? So it's it's worth knowing those are in the mix, because if your work orders come out and look a little raw, you've got the other resources there to say, where should I look to get this if I have to patch it up myself to make it look decent, because it's not being created by a screen flow, or it's not being created by book appointments and things like that.
Fine. That is a very good point. So I will add it. So we got work types too. I guess it matters. Okay, work types. Okay. Save. Did I get everybody? Service contract I got, asset, account, product. Oh, I guess product. Like, for real? Is it this? I think so. It's nice. Okay. Okay. Work type. I think we have nailed it. Okay. Okay. A lot of automation happens, but let's just not talk about that first, right? Because to create all these records is a lot. So what some people do, maybe opportunities should have been something I added here too. Okay, here we go. Because it could start at an opportunity, right? Like you sell something, it's a service contract to cover all of your assets, and service them on a particular cadence. So that all that information could start at an opportunity with opportunity products. And I've had conversations with people, well, what is the product? Is the product the cadence of the service, like the work type? And then it's for all of the assets at that location, like maybe. Or is the opportunity product each asset? And that means that you got to get all of the assets and create them as opportunity products, or create another custom object on the opportunity to map all those assets. So have those kind of design conversations early on about how does this process actually start. And then once the opportunity is closed as one, it would then create a service contract with the service, and then the frequency, the cadence. Like we got into entitlements, but a lot of the service contract stuff didn't really help with recurring work. But some people want to keep track of their service contracts or their contract line items. And then you take this and then you link it to a maintenance plan. So this initial data model of how these maintenance plans get created is definitely something worth talking about. So as I throw up what a maintenance plan looks like, we can reverse engineer what are all the things that we see on a maintenance plan, and then we can round robin, like who's using service contracts. First of all, who's using preventative maintenance? Are you using service contracts? What's the process of creating your maintenance plan? Go ahead. Anybody want to chime in?
So I was Googling, but the object I was screaming for was that record set filter criteria. I popped a link in the chat about.
Brilliant.
That was the one I was thinking. Whether there's a tab for it, I don't know.
Oh, you gotta create one.
yeah,
No,
but
it's one word. Record set is
yeah,
one
yeah.
word.
So
Good one, good one, good
that's
one. I
the
always
guy.
forget about this one.
So yeah, the
Good
early
one.
and maybe that feeds into the conversation you're getting at.
Okay.
How often do we maintain? Is it every 6
Yes.
months? Because that's when I put boots on the ground, or is it every
Mm-hmm.
3,000 reps? Which maybe this
Yes.
one's sitting in the yard getting dusty. Maybe this one's used every day. So the move they made from the original behavior, which was all duration based, they then added these record set filter criteria. I think that's the one where you go, this one is an every 6 month thing. Come up, clean the bathroom every week versus change the oil every 3,000 miles. They made you able to do that, but if you had only duration based rules in there, you had to go in and forklift yourself and change them. So that could speak to this. How do you bill it? How do you get it's like, how are these assets used in the first place? How do you measure when they need service? Might they be both? Every 6 months, I go do this. Every 3,000 usages, I go and do that. And I think they have converged on a bunch of stuff where it's like, well, if I just did this one, there's some grease periods or some knock-ups or something where they go, you were just here doing that, so we're not going to ask you to do this other thing for a while after it because we consider it was part of that one. I don't know that answers where you were driving.
And I think one of the other considerations is this is scheduled for every 4 months, but we're taking the plant down every 3 months. So we might as well move that thing forward anyway. And I'm not sure if SFS covers that either. Something that says, might as well, we're replacing the brake shoes, might as well rotate the tires.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to throw some of these on here because these page layouts help me understand what's related here because we have to manage a lot of related data. So we have a maintenance plan, we've got maintenance assets, and we've got maintenance work rules. We also could have, let me just save this again. I thought I had some maintenance, like to generate, maybe it's actually on the page layout.
You're talking about like actions or something, the buttons that make it happen.
Yes. So gotta clear this wrench. All of these things. What are you? Generate work orders? No. So actions. There are some things I thought that says, or was it tick a box? So they can generate, auto generate work orders, generate no. I thought I had a button that would just generate work orders. It is already there. Good Lord. Okay. This should probably be here. Like, what do I need a product request for here? Or what do I need a vehicle inspection here for? So that's only there because it's on the global publisher layout. So that's why it keeps showing up every single time. I'm good with this. So I'm going to hit save. Then there's, oh, okay. I'm going to do one more layout on the maintenance asset. And then we got to go into one more setup because there's a setup thing here to look at. Maintenance asset. Oh, I have an SDO page layout. Let's see what they think the page layout should look like. So you can have rules, maintenance work rules on a maintenance plan or on a maintenance asset or both. Yeah, you can have it on both. And a few things you got to update here. There's some button missing here too. So yeah, we definitely have to clean this up. So maintenance asset. Oh, there's an SDO. Okay, fine. Yes. Okay. So hit this button. Actions. There was a.
So you're trying to update your layouts to get an eye on the complexity and keep it all sort of in frame.
Correct.
And that object model, it's no picnic. It's not super simple. The other thing to keep in mind is what I've learned from generating work orders from maintenance plans. When it fails silently. So you could be playing a little, last straw game in your other automations. I've now added something that does something based on geocoding or local time or something of a service appointment. Everything that's trying to happen in that one big transaction, it could be good today, bad tomorrow, or good for a small site, bad for a big site or contract, I guess, with line items. And you don't really get the full effect of it until you expected it to make some yesterday and it just didn't.
But chatter notifications show you. So maintenance work rules will put
Right.
that
You have to
here.
You have to feed track the object. Yeah, that it's the only place you get it.
And you don't have it on the asset because, or do I have to enable feed tracking on here? So I think that might be another trick that we have to do too, is to enable feed tracking on the two objects so that we can see the errors that are happening. So let me just go to the maintenance plan and let me verify that edit page. I cannot get, seriously?
And I pasted a little citation about that, someone with the exact problem. And it's feed tracking on maintenance plan is what's suggested there on the community.
It is suggested. Okay, perfect. Okay, so instead of doing all this jazz, I'm going to just do the thing. Okay, so now that we're in setup, let's look at all the things we have to do in setup. So let's do feed tracking first because that's top of mind. Okay, so we need maintenance plans and we need maintenance assets. So witnessing all this already, wouldn't it just be so great if we had Salesforce Go, just like you press a button and it did all this stuff for us? Be freaking awesome. Oh, I see. You got to press that save button. All right, all right. Oh, I did already. Okay, cool. I got to do the other one now. Okay. So feed tracking is on. And then save. Okay, fine. Okay. Then we go to filters. Settings. Ooh, what's that? Sorry, squirrel. Squirrel moment. Okay. There's something in work order generation from maintenance plan. Okay. So 100% I always tick this box because why wouldn't I populate the address? Like the fact that I have to do that.
What's under the bubble?
Yeah.
Where's it coming from?
The account. The asset address, the visitor address,
Okay,
and
very
then
good.
the shipping address. That's the order of execution.
I approve.
Awesome. Right. So this happened like all the time. Now use batch generation to create work orders manually. I usually turn this on when I'm testing because I can't wait 90 days until the thing that, sets So like, I guess we could fudge the dates, right? But I generally just press the button just so that I could have that button. And then this one's interesting. This isn't for everybody because some people, no, not for everybody. Here's the button. I'll leave this up. Well, there we go. So floating instead of fixed. So instead of just saying, I'm going to just create them every 6 months, it's going to be, I'm going to create it 6 months. Like I'm going to create it today. We're going to complete it 6 months from now, or I guess, right? Or that's not true. I want to create it today. I got to get it done this week. Okay. First maintenance, let's say, got to get it done this week. I complete it. And the completion of that work order triggers the next maintenance work order to be created. And then it'll be 6 months from the date of work order completion. So there are a lot of people who prefer that instead of just saying, okay, pre-create them all. I might not get to it. Now all of a sudden I'm doing maintenance every 5 months because I was late. And so I did one month late. And so I've got the other one set for 6 months from now, but it's really now 5 months. So I'm maintaining it too early. And there's a cost
Yeah.
implication to that.
So it
Go ahead.
also sort of prevents records from getting stale. Like maybe
Exactly.
we had old work steps when we created it, or the due date is just gone. And
Correct.
it's like change the light bulbs every 6 months. You got 100 rooms in your house. You create this thing, you go do the walk. If I am a slow person, I change the light bulb one day. I did the living room today. 6 months from that, it's going to make the other one for 6 months from now. Then I do the dining room the next day. It's going to make one for 6 months out, right? That's what this is saying. It's going to operate off of when it gets done, not here's a whole slew to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. But there are some businesses who are falling behind on their maintenance,
Uh-huh.
or they have to. There's an obligation to perform 4 maintenances for this customer a year. So how are you going to make sure that you have 4? Like you've got it, and maybe you build a process that picks out the work order, like upon completion, go find the next one and then kick that out, and then or kick out the other ones. Something sounds a bit messy, but some of the other reasons why people want to pre-create them for maybe a whole year is to get ahead of what my capacity is going to be, right? If I know that I need to handle 100 maintenance work orders in the month of June, maybe I need to get more techs.
Yeah, or have that fill-in work. This one got rained out today. Where can we go change light bulbs? This is nearby.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can pull them ahead, you can move them around, and it can be that thing that does all the fill in for you. So at least you've got service appointments to fill in your schedule. Yes, totally. Yep. So I mean, it's kind of cute to be able to do this. And there are people who it's like, no, I don't need to pre-create it. I need to do it. Like I gotta respect the real date. So I mean, I'm gonna just leave this off because I just want to see how
Yeah.
it works.
So platform-wise, would it also be less processing in some way? That thing's checked, so it's like this one finishes, go make the next one. It's not, I'm going to make a dozen or make 50 right now. It's making it based on when one gets finished.
Mm-hmm.
So they're one at a time-ish.
It's one at a time-ish. Yeah. So I guess it does, as opposed to a batch, you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I'm going to just run away from this because I don't need it. Come on. Of course. Right when I don't need you. But I don't think I really, oh yeah, I do still have to add chatter. There you are. I don't really need activity. Like for real. What activity am I having on a maintenance plan? It's not like on the real. Okay, at
And
least I can
is that
type
something
ahead.
new? Is the reducing the activity or removing activities, is that because it's kind of redundant with work steps, sort of?
Well, I don't see activity as really like tasks or emails or phone calls. Like, are we really capturing activities on a maintenance plan record?
Well, I mean, so it could be that a week before we're going to show up at the site and do the maintenance, we send somebody an email that reminds them. But I was thinking but that could also just be a work step that says, remember to do that thing. Or am I wrong?
Mm, no. Well, okay, if let's just say you are a service manager
Mhm.
and you're getting your maintenance plan set up for the very first time, right? So new customer onboarding, or it's a brand new year or the end of the year, there could be some tasks that you might want to have. So yeah, I mean, you're right. Maybe I was just a little bit too delete happy, but yeah, you're right. That would be a good use case for this.
The test might be like, did we update the duration of the work type? Like, oh, they got better
Exactly.
at this and we're not using efficiency. So it'll take 20, or did we
Exactly.
order the parts for next year? Are these compliant? Did we get
Yeah.
the stickers to,
Ooh, would be
to
interesting to have knowledge on here.
yeah, to your point,
Yeah.
did we call ahead and say, are you guys ready? Remember,
Mm,
first a month, every month we'll be there. Are you
mm-hmm,
able to take one of these devices down while we
mm-hmm,
maintain it?
mm-hmm.
And also, I think
So
there's a distinction of is it activities related to the overall big plan, or is it
it's the
visit specific?
it would be, I don't know what happened here, but it's not wanting to save. Oh, it did save. I guess it depends, right? Like this is specific to the plan itself.
Mhm.
So not, yeah, wouldn't go related to the work.
Got it. Yeah. So I'd been sort of thinking that first way. And by the way, strong consulting work to say it depends. Nicely done.
Well, hey, thanks. Oh, okay. You sent a photo here, a comparison between ServiceMax and SFS maintenance. Thank you. Let's take a look at this photo.
Yeah. And for what that's worth, it's us of us plus Service Max. It's an additive product. It's not either or.
Mm. Okay, just turn it around.
And that may just be a useful additional thing outside of the scope of what you're showing today. I'm here to add scope, creep, and rabbit holes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we love rabbit holes. We just have to remember to take some breaths every so often. Okay, so this entitlement logic, I don't know how to work this out. Like basic entitlements and milestones for general service level agreements. I don't know how to build this, to be honest. If anybody knows how to do this, just out of core Salesforce and then field service, no idea.
Well,
Right. And this is Gemini AI, the same AI tool that tells
Oh,
me to use
nice.
process builders sometimes. No. I mean, I knew this from my deep experience. No, this is all just the Gemini prompt
Okay,
that
cool.
says compare this stuff.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks for the clarification. Okay, I'm going to add a tab because you were like, well, maybe you do want activities. So we'll just put activities back. We don't really hate on activities that much. Activity. You know, in Industries Cloud, they've got this concept of action plans and action lists, and I'm so upset about it because it's not that great. Like setting up a template isn't that great, and then how you assign them isn't that great. But, anyways, actions and recommendations might be interesting too, just to make sure that you've got all the things that you need. So I like what Bruce was saying, like that in this maintenance plan, based off of what our maintenance service requirements entail, we would need these parts on a regular basis. But that's generally captured on a work type. So when you are setting up your maintenance plan, this is effectively a template that's going to create your work orders. So what this maintenance plan record is doing is saying, for this account and this service contract, between these dates, automatically generate 3 months of work orders for me with a maintenance window of 30 days. And the date of the first order in the next batch is a long time ago. So let's just see if we can do it right now. Today. Save. Oh yeah, we're still within the window. So you could auto-generate work orders. So this is not active, but I'm going to just press it and just see what happens. Because something tells me it's going to happen on the maintenance asset, but I'm just going to press it here and see what happens. So to go back to the fail silently, the idea here is that Chatter should be providing a note here saying we generated 0 because there's no conditions, like the conditions of work order generation were not met. Okay, whatever that means, we'll see. So it could be because it's on the maintenance asset. So let's look at the maintenance asset and what the difference is.
I guess like absent that lesson, absent surfacing that there, you'd still just be scratching your head and going, did it do something or did it fail because I had too many downstream processes or something? That's the only place you really get any sense out of, did it do the thing?
Exactly. So what's interesting, there's a maintenance work rule. Okay. So maintenance work rules were created maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. This is what gives you the recurring meeting type of experience that we all love with Gmail and Outlook calendar management, right? Like I need to go every so often. In this particular case, I'm doing this based off of a record set filter criteria. So that's pretty cool that they set this up. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to just create a new maintenance work rule so that we can all see what that rule is. So that's probably why it didn't hit the criteria, because less than 20 hours of average uptime per day. So whatever criteria, data criteria on the asset, on the maintenance asset, it didn't qualify. So I was like, okay, I don't need to create an order, okay? A work order. So I'm going to create a new maintenance work rule on this asset. And I'm just going to call this quarterly or monthly, because let's just see what monthly gives us. And it's going to be calendar based, not criteria based. And we're going to search a work type and we're just going to call it maintenance. And I'm going to leave it at maintenance asset. So it's got to be one or the other. I believe it'll throw an error if you have it on both. We're about to find out. And then I'm going to make it today. And then we'll set that every few months. Okay, so here's how robust it can be. So frequency once a month, you can set it to say however you want the recurrence to be. Like, so I'm going to just set it to never, but I think it respects the maintenance plan end date. We can play with that and test that out. And then you can be more granular and say whatever day of the month. So you could say the first day of the month or the 5th day of the month, and you can stagger this so that not all of your maintenance plans or maintenance work orders get scheduled or created for the first of the month. So you can choose that, or you can kind of make it dynamic to say, make it the first Thursday or Wednesday or whatever. That way you could do some kind of thing where it's like our quarterlies are done on Mondays and our monthlies are done on Wednesdays. Like you can do some things like that to control the flow of your work. But I'm going to just choose the first Wednesday because hopefully something will pop up for tomorrow. The sort order is interesting. And this is where you break your brain a little bit in terms of, well, what if I want to do an annual, a yearly, a monthly? Did I say annual and yearly? Quarterly, I meant to say. If you choose the sort order, you would first check to see, is it annual? And if it's annual, then it would fire first. And then if it's monthly, right, like it would go down sequentially, and it might not be time to perform that type of service yet. So you can have multiple maintenance rules, asset rule, maintenance plan rule. Like you can have multiple and you can order it. And then let's just zoom in here so that you can see what this little thought bubble says. the lowest order. So the very first one, so once it fires, it goes. And then the date of the first work order, it'll be set to the next day and like the next year, right? So if this is for annual, it'll look at the first one, say, oh, it's not time for me to do this one. It'll skip it, go look at the second one. Okay, is it time for the quarterly? Nope, not time for the quarterly because that's 2 months from now. And then it'll look at the third one, which would be monthly. Is it time for my monthly? Yep, it's time. Let's go. So it'll create that one for you. And what's great about that is when you're like, there was a lot of people who were like, I have a monthly and a quarterly created. I've got a duplicate work order. And this skips that because it won't consider the third one because it's already done the second one. And then when it's the annual, sometimes they would have 3 because they've got the annual, the monthly, and the quarterly. Sometimes that's what it is. Like it's different activities and you actually have to do all of it all at once. So it's up to how the business is running. So something to consider. Sometimes you want all of them.
From what you're just showing,
Yep. So see, you can't have both.
yeah,
You can only have one.
the frequency type. So those are easy to set because we know about them. They're calendar based. I'm not saying easy. Where the others become a stretch, it becomes like the perfect world. It's only really from connected data. Like, how do you know the 3,000 usages? Where is it coming from? Is somebody sitting there with a spreadsheet once a month saying, we saw the latest number was this? Or is it on someone's other work order? Or perhaps there's a daily inspection or something that says, this asset is up to 2,999 reps. And then tomorrow it's at 3,050 or something. Like, if you don't have that data from a real, like a live source, you don't know when these things should or will fire. It might be on some piece of paper that's waiting to hit the system at some point or won't ever. So I guess to drive them by things other than like calendar frequency, you've got to know where is that data coming from? Are we in an IoT play, or is someone looking at it and diligently typing in Salesforce once in a while?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's 4:02. I just realized I'm late for a call. Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to we can continue this, or I can just continue this and record it, but there are secret fields that are on the work order that you need to add to the page layout that get populated through this process. So yeah, and of course, thank goodness I got it. I just needed to populate the information here. Any closing remarks?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you all later. Thanks for hopping on.
Bye-bye.
Bye.